Hey guys, so today we are, first of all, getting this to focus, going to talk about substitution part 2, and we're going to look at equations where you don't already have one variable that's alone. So for example, the top equation here, you can see that I have x plus 2y, but x isn't alone, even though it doesn't have a coefficient. So the first thing we have to do is rewrite one of the two equations so that it does have a variable by itself. So I'm going to take x plus 2y equals 6 because I noticed the x didn't have a number in front. I'm going to subtract the 2y from both sides and get x alone. So I'm going to have x equals 6 minus 2y. So now I have something that I can substitute into the second equation. So everything 6 minus 2y can go in place of the x in the second equation. Sorry. Got to get it to focus. Why is it being fussy today? All right, so 3, instead of the x, don't forget your parentheses, we're going to put in the 6 minus 2y minus 4y equals 28. So now I have to distribute because there was, a binomial. This wasn't just a single term. So 3 times 6 is 18. Minus 3 times 2 is minus 6y, minus 4y equals 28. So when I go to simplify this, the minus 6y minus 4y altogether becomes minus 10y. So now I have a two-step equation. I'm going to subtract the 18 from both sides and divide both sides by negative 10 and get y equals negative 1. So that is the first part of my solution, right? Because I need an ordered pair. I need an x and a y. So now I can substitute this back. Has to go into one of the equations that was printed on the page. The x plus 2y equals 6 was slightly less complex, so I'm going to put it in that one. X plus 2 times negative 1 equals 6. Plus negative 2. So I'm going to have to add 2 to both sides and get x equals 8. So what does that mean? It means I have a solution, x equals 8, y equals negative 1, so 8 comma negative 1 is the solution to the system. All right, next one. Same idea. After I get it to focus, I need to get one of the two equations so that I have a single variable all by itself. So I'm going to go for the second one because the second one already has a y that does not have a coefficient. So I'm going to take this one and choose to rewrite it. Negative 7x plus y equals negative 3. I'm going to add 7x to both sides so that I can get the y by itself, 7x minus 3. So now, anywhere in the first equation I see a y, I can put 7x minus 3. So instead of this y, I'm going to do 3x plus 2 in place of the y, the 7x minus 3. And I have to distribute because it's a binomial. So 2 times 7x is 14x. 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. I'm going to combine the 3x and the 14x for 17x. Minus 6 equals 11 and add 6 to both sides. Ooh, this is kind of nice. Divide both sides by 17, and I get x equals 1. So that is the first part of the solution to my system, where now I need to substitute that back into one of the original equations that was printed on the page. That way, if I made a mistake over here, I'm not substituting an answer back into a mistake. So I'm going to choose the second equation because it was the one that had a little bit less going on. It will work in either one. So x equals 1. Negative 7 times 1 plus y equals negative 3. And I've got to add, because the negative 7, the opposite would be plus 7, and y equals 4. So now that I've got both parts, the system has a solution of 1, 4. Now last but not least, I have one more system down here at the bottom. Negative 5x plus 3y equals 11. And I also have x minus 2y equals 2. The second one, the x minus 2y equals 2, that one is the one that has a letter that's already no coefficient. Sorry, just trying to get this to focus. So this is the one that I'm going to choose to rewrite. So x minus 2y equals 2. I want to get the x by itself, so I'm going to add the 2y to both sides. X equals 2y plus 2. So anywhere that I see an x, I can substitute back into the first equation in place of that x. Negative 5, there was an x there, plus 3y equals 11. Instead of the x, negative 5 times the 2y plus 2 plus 3y equals 11. So that all came from the original one. Just instead of the x, I plugged in everything that x was worth. So negative 10y, distributive property, minus 10, also from the distributive property. And now I need to simplify the minus 10y with the positive 3y. So a negative 10 plus 3 would be negative 7y minus 10 equals 11. I am going to add 10 to both sides. Negative 7y equals 21. Divide both sides by negative 7. Y equals negative 3. Again, only the first part of my solution. Now I go back. I'm going to pick the simpler of the two equations, though either one would work. X minus 2, instead of the y, we're going to plug in the negative 3. X minus a negative 6 would become plus 6, right? Minus, and then 2 times negative 3 would be negative 6, minus negative 6 becomes plus 6. X plus 6 equals 2. I'm going to subtract 6 on the left, subtract 6 on the right, get x equals negative 4. And my solution would be negative 4, negative 3. Now, don't forget, you can go back and substitute to double check your answer at any time. So I could go back in, negative 5 times negative 4, that was my x value, plus 3 times negative 3, which was my y value, equals 11, to see if it works. So negative 5 times negative 4 is 20, plus 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, and 20 plus negative 9 is in fact 11. I can always double check my solution in the system of equations to see if it works. And in this case, it did.